Yo, what is up, YouTube? Your boy is back, the Tier GOAT, back for another profile. And today, guys, I have the long and awaited combo version of Tier. Now, in this format, with Q-Tune now being introduced, the trap version is dead. You cannot play that version anymore. They make RS to negate a trap card, and they can use a Rico to synchro summon on your turn to pop a trap card. So it is a terrible matchup, and they look at your hand too to like know which trap cards they can negate. So it's really bad. So trap version is not it right now. You gotta play the combo version. So I built the best list for the combo version, and I'm about to get into it. So showcase the spice. For the main deck, 60 cards, obviously, you know how I do. We got the standard tier package, one of each of the names, 3 Rhino Heart, and 3 Tearlaments Cash Thera. I don't know where my third ulti is, but yeah. So these cards are obviously great mills, they're great draws, except for this one and this one. You don't really want to draw these, but you can get them out the hand with this, trigger them still, so it's fine. This one is an amazing draw and an amazing mill. I see people not playing multiples of this card. It's incorrect. You want to mill this card, so you play 3 of it. Same thing with this. This card has to be a 3 of because it's the best extender on your turn and on your opponent's turn. So it's a crazy card. Yeah, pretty standard here. Then for the extra monsters that I play, 3 Destiny Hero Militias. So this card's a really good extender to mill in the deck, and it gives you more dark monsters to fuse with to help you make Mud Dragon. So even if you mill like 2 Militias, you could put 1 back, make Mud Dragon, then you have access to the other Militia system. So really good card to help you extend, make link climbs with, helps you make Pilgrim Reaper easier too, which is nice. So card's really good. Then I play 2 Shit All monsters. This one is really good because it's a +1 when you mill it, and it's a dark monster, so as you make Mud Dragon. This card is really good for the Fiendsmith part of the deck because it makes it so that 1 Engraver is a Winda because of this card existing. But in general, this card is also really good to mill because it mills based on the amount of attributes on the field. So going second milling this card is absolutely cracked because your opponent is going to have cards on their field too. So you mill for whatever attributes they have, whatever attributes you have. So this card is amazing. And then I play 2 Shufflers. I usually side 1 to 2 of these cards out, depending on the matchup. But these cards are amazing in the main deck because allowing you to be able to resolve your Rainbow Bridge every game because you like milled the turtle, right? So your Rainbow Bridge is dead, or you milled the field spell that you want to search. So the Rainbow Bridge is way worse, so you can just shuffle that back, search whatever card you want now. That's really good. Also enabling you to pop whenever you want with your field spell is also really good. So yeah, putting back your resources is in general really good. So I like these cards a lot. And then I play the spices, 1 Trick Clown and 1 Shyama. So the Trick Clown's a new addition. This card is actually really, really good. Not gonna lie, I liked it a lot because the idea was originally is that it helps me make Exoton, and that's exactly what it did for me. When I played this yesterday in the tournament and won the tournament with this deck, that's exactly what Trick Clown did. Every time I milled it, it helped me make Exoton and continue extending, or it just helped me link climb too. I used it to just make it SP one time. So yeah, it was really good. So I do like the Trick Clown as just another good mill to have access to. Because, for example, let's say you're milling your deck and you hit this and then your normal Rhino. Now it's way worse for them to negate your Rhino because you have Exoton access. So even if they do negate your Rhino Heart, then you just go Exoton. So it comes up a lot. Definitely a really good card. And Shyama, it's really good when you draw your trap cards. So when you draw Turvy Karma, when you draw Soliak, when you draw Rainbow Bridge, this card helps you get them out the hand and resolve their effects. So I do like this card a lot for that reason, but it usually does get side out because it's not that good going second. People think, oh, but it helps you clear back row, stuff like that. And yeah, but you're usually not wanting to, draw your trap cards or play better cards in general to draw over this card. So yeah, but that is it for the main tier part of the deck for the monsters. All the tier monsters and the good mills that you play. And I play 1 of the field spell. It's correct just to play one of this card. This card you want to search. You don't want to draw this card. You want to search this card, so you play one of it so that you could search it. It's still really strong. Obviously, I would have not play it, but yeah, only one is perfectly fine. Then you play 3 Foolish Goods. This card is insane in this deck because this allows you to get access to Rainbow Bridge, Trivia Karma, or Black Goat Laughs going second. So it's a board breaker and a starter card. Cracked in this deck. 1 Foolish Burial, because as you can see, I added even more Foolish Burial targets with the Trick Clown in the deck now. So yeah, Foolish Burial has a lot of good targets in this deck. So definitely want to play that, but usually a card that gets added out going second, because going into board is not that strong. Then this is also a new change. I play 3 Scream now. So the issue is before, I didn't like 3 of this card because, yeah, it's just not a good draw. But now, even though it's still not really a good draw, especially going second, it's still a Tearlament card that I want to have access to mill. So I found that sometimes you needed just more graveyard effects to mill, and Scream was just the next best one to play. I didn't want to play like any more monsters because I'm already playing a ton of monsters I don't want to draw. Like, I don't want to draw any of these monsters really, because the only way to get them out the hand is with Sharon to get really value out of them, or like if you draw your Horus or Fiendsmith package, obviously. But in terms of like the tier part, that's really the only way is like searching Sharon later on to get those cards out of your hand. So I didn't really want to play another monster. I wanted a card that, you know, is a tier card so that when I do mill Rhino Hearts, I could trigger those way more often, chain block the Rhino Heart as well. This card being on the field too when you do draw is also really good because their guys are going to be -5. Your field spell is going to gain your guys 5, so it's 1,000 difference, plus you mill 3 cards. So it's really annoying for your opponent to like go second into your board under a Scream and Planet. So really strong card for that reason, but usually 2 of them get sided out going second because obviously it's not that good going second. But I do like it in the main deck now at 3 because I just wanted another good graveyard effect to mill, and Scream's the next best one. And with the addition of Rainbow Bridge too, Rainbow Bridge can also just guarantee your Planet, your tier field spell, this one. It can guarantee this now so that your Trivia Karma can search Scream, which is also nice. So. And then play 3 Soliog. This card I never side out. This card is insane. This card is the best like Tearlament mill, and it's the best searchable interruption in the deck because you search it with this card. This card like basically is a double interruption on its own because itself it negates a card, and then whatever you send is usually a tier monster, which will fusion summon into another interruption. So yeah, this card is insane. Definitely play 3 because it's a good mill and a good draw. Then I play the 1 Turtle. The reason why I play this one for the Rainbow Bridge package is because this one's an Aqua, so it helps you make Kaleido Heart. And I play double Rainbow Bridge. You don't need 3 of this card because you play Trivia Karma, and if they ash the first one and you mill the second one, you can just resolve it. So 2 usually only comes up, never 3. 3 is just a brick. On top of like Trivia Karma, you don't want to play 3 of this, so 2 is perfectly fine. Usually you're dumping this with Foolish Burial Goods anyway, so it's like you play 5 copies of it, so you don't need 3. 1 Trivia Karma is perfectly fine too. This ratio is pretty standard. And 1 Blackout Laughs for the last of the tier part of the deck. This is usually all standard for the tier part. Yeah, it's a really solid board breaker for your deck. Really solid interruption to mill, even going first. So yeah, overall really good card. And enables like Thrust not being dead going first too, if you do draw that. So yeah, but that's it for like the tier part of the deck. And then for the extra part, the extenders, play 3 Fiendsmith Engraver, 1 Lurie, 1 Lacrima, 3 Tract, 1 Paradise. So this engine, like I said, every time I talk about this engine, I say this engine has to be maxed out. It has to be maxed out. Guys, this is the closest thing we're going to get to Ishizu cards. These are basically the replacement for Ishizu cards. These do the same thing that Ishizu cards did, except they don't mill 5 with their monster effects. They have to make a card that mills 5, but it's still fine. Or you just make a window, which I'll show you that combo later on. But yeah, these cards are cracked. The fact that Tract sends the card to the graveyard for effect also makes it so that it triggers all of your Tearlament cards. So, for example, let's say you draw Tract plus Soliek. You can activate Tract, search Lurie, send the Soliek to the graveyard for effect, trigger the Soldic now, search a Tearlament caster or whatever. Then you can go normal Lurik and continue on. So, Tract is insane in this deck. And yeah, not much to say about this engine anymore. It's just cracked. Gotta max it out. I'll show you a combo with the Engraver though later. I play 3 Mseti, 1 Happy, 1 Kingsark, and 1 of the walls because I do play Bridge, so being able to search this actually does come up a lot more than you think. Before, I didn't think that this card would come up that much, but honestly, I searched this most of the time with my Rainbow Bridge search instead of Wraitsoth and instead of the Tearfield spell. This card actually came up a lot, search Mseti. And Mseti overall is really strong in this format, even going second, because these horse cards are big, so they help you crack boards. They also help you play around certain things because of Kingsark. Like, I remember yesterday I played against Unchained. I forget what round, but I played against Unchained, and I remember I Lightning Stormed his whole board, so he had nothing on the board, but I knew he had a Sharvara in the hand or something like that. Yeah, he had a Sharvara in the... No. Yeah, he had a Sharvara in the hand and, like, 2 trap set. So, at a Fenrir, I had 2 Horus cards. No, I had a Fenrir, I had 1 Horus, I had a Rhino Heart, and I had a Kaleido Heart. So, I was playing going second under 4 summons. I didn't want to commit more to the board, so I try to go battle phase. He goes end of main, activate his Sharvara, pop a trap. I go, sure, Chainlink 1 on Resolution, Fenrir target your Sharvara, Chainlink 2, his trap card, summon a guy from deck. So he summons a guy from deck. That's fine, because I think I had Field Spell up, the Planet Field Spell, the Tier Field Spell. So my Rhino Heart and my Kaleido Heart was getting boosted. Oh no, it wasn't Rhino Heart on the field, my bad. It was a Tearlament caster on the field, that's what it was. The Tearlament caster milled the name, and then I fused with Rhino Heart plus the Crystal Beast and the name that I milled in the graveyard to make Kaleido Heart. So that's what it was. So I had Fenrir on the board, I had Mseti on the board, I had Tear Cash on the board, I had Kaleido Heart on the board, and he only had an Unchained in defense that he summoned from the deck. So I went battle phase. He said, sure. I went attack with the Horus monster. Obviously, he's going to be like, okay, effect of the Unchained. I'm like, wait. Damage step, activate Kingsark effect to send it to the graveyard. He's like, oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. So that helped me OTK him under 4 summons to play around Nib. So that was really good. So, yeah, people forget that these Horus cards have really good effects when your cards, like in the damage step with this, and then when your cards leave the field, these also trigger. So. And this being a Kingsark name, so that if they like clear this, you can still activate this, summon your horses. Really nice. So overall, the engine is really good going first and second. Get the bricks out of your hand too. And then speaking of Fenrir, I do play this Fenrir package because it's still nice to have access to Fenrir, because Fenrir is still a +1. It still removes a card. It's still a really good, solid end board piece as well to like end on your board with. So overall, really good card going first and second. So it definitely does come up to search this, so you definitely want to play it. And then the God cards in the deck, the last few cards in the deck are 3 Forbidden Droplets. This card is like the best card to crack any board with and unbrick your hand at the same time. The card is insane. And then also the God card, Triple Tactics Thrust, because it searches the best card in the deck. So you play 4 copies of the best card in your deck because... yeah, why not? Like, you want to resolve grass in this deck. This is the reason why you play 60, so play as much copies of grass as you can that are good copies of grass, not Left Arm Offering. Left Arm Offering is ass cheeks. Don't play that card. But Thrust is very good because it can still search Challenge, which is still also a God card. The reason why it's at 1. Has 3 band effects on it, so yeah, card is insane in this deck. And the last card is Called By, just for going first, because Shifter's still in the format. Everyone's playing Ash Blossom and Charmies in their deck, so it still gets value in the main deck for sure. So yeah, that's it for the deck. 60 cards. I would not change a single card in this main deck at all. The main deck was absolutely perfect. Yeah, I would not change a single thing. Extra deck. One Kaleido Heart. Standard. 1 Mud Dragon standard. 1 Dragostapelia standard, one Winda standard. This is like the basic fusions that you make with your tier names. So yeah, these are pretty standard. Then your Fiendsmith fusions are one Necrokip. Definitely got to play that when it comes up to help you make Pilgrim Reaper or help you get a draw when you draw like Track and Engraver, which does come up. So yeah, one Arrow Eater for the Engraver combo that I'll show you later. But this can dump the Hellshadal and it can also dump Shyama, which is nice. One Lacrima. This comes up to extend with, but to also burn for a game. I did do that against a Lunalight player. He heavy polyed, his left him down to 500 life, and then next turn, he didn't kill me that turn because he Dark Rulered. So next turn I just burned him for a game of Lacrima, so definitely came up. Definitely comes up. Don't side this card out. Especially when you draw multiple Fiendsmith cards, it's correct to go into track Lacrima lines, so yeah, it also comes up with like Sequence and Desiree. Like when you have Sequence and Desiree up, you can go track fuse into this, trigger the Desiree as well, bring it back with this, and get the Desiree send. So yeah, and Desiree obviously. Really good with Paradise, really good as an end board piece as well. Really good as an interruption, like solid card. As for the fusions, then the Xyz, I play Exciton. This card is insane in this deck. You make this card as much as possible. You make it going first, you make it going second, you make it a combo, you make it a break the board. Card is cracked. Gotta play that. One Pilgrim Reaper. This card comes up a good amount of times, so definitely worth playing. It's not as good as the other one, Zombie Vampire, because this card gets you a body. Even though it mills one less from your deck, it's still fine because you can still just extend with it by the body you get. So it's a little, this card's a little better than this, but it's still worth to play this because it is a consistency card. Milling 5 cards from your deck is still really strong. One Requiem, one Sequence, pretty standard. One SP, one Sprint, pretty standard. That's it for the extra deck. Side deck. 3 Ash, and 1 Crime. So these are the best cards deciding going first. Usually sat out either a combination of 2 droplets and thrust, or 3 thrust and 1 droplet, or 3 droplet, 1 thrust. It just depends on the matchup. But usually you're siding out thrust and droplets for these cards. So yeah, and then I play 3 of the ball for going second. Let me put these out the way. 3 of the ball for going second. I'm not sure if these should be Dark Rulers or not. I'm still testing with this card, but I felt like it would still be really good to have outs to Liger because, as you can see, this is my only out to Liger dancer. So yeah, I still don't have an out to that. So even though I didn't draw it against the Lunalight player that I did play against, and I still won because he heavy volleyed, burned himself, so I could Lacrima him. But if I did draw this card, it would have been insane because in game 2 he ended on double Liger plus Baguska. So yeah, that would have just cracked this whole board. So yeah, this card's still pretty good, but I'm not sure if other cards are better than it. So this card should be Illusion Gate. Now I don't have it, but yeah, for sure this should be Illusion Gate. Illusion Gate is absolutely cracked in this deck because whatever you take, you can most likely convert it. And this card being able to clear the whole board and give you an extender is also just very, very strong. So you could take a level 4 monster, summon another level 4, make Exciton. You could take you could take a level 8, make Zombie Vampire. So there's a lot of cool cards you could take. You could take a Negate that they summon. So yeah, overall really solid card for this deck. Helps you crack like all the K9 boards and stuff like that. Even against Draco Tail, it's not bad to bait out Flame with this card, or just like resolve it after they use Flame to just get out one of their guys. So yeah, not a bad card overall. Really solid, really good card. 3 Lightning Storm and 1 Duster, because back row is still annoying, but also certain decks like just don't play around Lightning Storm, so they just get cooked by it. But mainly for like branded, they set a bunch on the end phase, so you could pop all their shit on the end. You could pop all their shit that they set, which is really nice. Any decks that like set a good amount of cards or just play into Lightning Storm, like the End Chain player, I played into Lightning Storm, so I just hit him with this, cleared his whole board, and then I was able to OTK him under Nib, so that was also pretty nice. So there's certain boards that you could just out with Lightning Storm, and certain decks that like just lose to it, so yeah. Definitely still a good card to side, but mainly a card to side to out Fissure because, yeah, you need out to that. So any decks that side Fissure, you definitely need out to that. If they side DDG, it's cooked. Sorry to tell you it's cooked, but you have no out to that one. But Fissure, at least you get out. And then the last card in the side deck is one Typhon. So I like this card a lot. I wish I could main deck this or put it in my actual extra deck, but there's literally no space. This card does come up going second, though, to crack boards, especially against Cool Toon now, with Cool Toon being in the format. Their RS gets super big, so you could just make a Typhon and make it so that they can't even activate RS or B2B, and then you can bounce one of them, attack over one maybe, so... Yeah, it helps against Cool Toon going second. It definitely comes up against that deck. Against certain other decks that like end on just big monsters that just Typhon negates, that just Typhon stuns is really nice. So yeah, overall I do like this card, and I wish I could put it in my main extra, but I just can't. So yeah, I'm siding it for now, but that is it for the deck. So yeah, like I said, these should be illusion gates. And let me get to the combos. So one engraver. This is what one engraver does. Activate engraver. Send it to the graveyard. Search tracked. Activate tracked. Get Lurry. Discard it. Effective Lurry. Summon it back. Link the Lurry now. Enter Requiem. Trigger the Requiem. Summon Lacrima from the deck. Lacrima effect. Dump another engraver. Engraver effect now. Shuffle back the Lurry to summon it. Link these two now. You don't make Necroquip here. This is just the one card engraver combo. You would make Necroquip depending on your hand, but with the one card engraver combo, you don't make a Necroquip. So you go sequence effect, shuffle back double engraver, because you want to keep the Lacrima and Requiem in there to get the Paradise access. So shuffle those two back. The double engraver for the Aerial Eater here. Now you go Aerial Eater to dump. You dump the Shit All monster. This is how you get access to the Hell Shit All with Aerial Eater. You dump this. You're going to mill 2 cards. If you mill the Merly here, you could still make the window, so it's fine. So literally, no matter what you mill, you'll still be able to do the same line. So you mill 2 cards, whatever you hit, doesn't matter. You link these two into Sprint effect. You dump Merly. Merly effect, you fuse with this and this into your window. And off of one engraver, you ended on window plus trap card access, which is really good, really solid for your deck. And usually you could set this up with like a Sulliek to protect it or a Field Spell up to protect the window. So there's multiple ways to protect this card, but one engraver can get you access to that, which is really nice. And that means any way to get into Exciton also can access this, because as long as you're able to get access to sequence and enough Light Fiends to fuse, to fusion with, then you'll be able to get access to this combination of cards at any point in time, because as long as you get access to a Light Fiend, you'll be able to do this combo. So you can do this with one engraver, you can do this with the Exciton that you made, you can do this with an engraver that you milled later on in the turn. So yeah, overall really solid line. It's the line I usually always prioritize going first in every matchup, because wind is just such an annoying problem to deal with on top of all the other interruptions you have. So that's just one case scenario for the engraver, which is really nice. I'll do a test hand real quick, shuffle the deck real quick, and then I'll show you what one simple test hand can end on. Shuffle this deck, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even power shuffle, I'm just literally, shuffling it like this as best as I can, because the deck is in order, so yeah. New sleeves, But yeah, let's cut it. Alright, let's see what we draw. It's a good start, but obviously you don't want to draw that. Okay, this, pretty good. This is also good. Alright, this hand is very playable. So, first up, with this hand, how do you want to play it? So, okay. You could do a couple of things here. You can go Foolish Burial, Goods to dump Rainbow Bridge. You're always going to dump Rainbow Bridge here, but it's depending on what field spell you search. So you can search the Horus field spell to put back the Paradise and then discard this and go for a Horus line. Or you can search the Race Saw to go for Fenrir to search for Tear Cache. Now, I feel like the Horus line is a little better here because you have a good discard for it and you have a good card to put back. And you rather go into a Zombie Vampire line because that will get you more mills overall on your turn. So, while Fenrir will not. So, I think I'm going to go Foolish Burial Goods first. And dump Rainbow Bridge. I'm not going to use it yet, though. Because, actually, I am going to use it. Because I was going to say I'm going to activate this first to play around Joel. But I'm not going to do that. Because I want this to stay on the field on my end board. So, I am going to activate this first. I'm going to search for the walls. And I'm going to search for the Crystal Beast guy. And then I'm going to go activate walls effect to add the Mseti. And then I'm going to put a card to the bottom of my deck. I'm going to put back the Fiendsmith of Paradise because I don't want that in my hand. And I'd rather have these cards in the graveyard because I can take advantage of these cards more on my turn. Because this is a material for me to fuse with, and this is obviously Graveyard Interruption, but puts back my cards just in case I need to like put back something to search. So here, obviously, I will go Mseti, discarding the Shuffler to search King Sark. Get the King Sark there, shuffle the deck, and I'm gonna draw a card. Cut the deck, draw one. Draw Malicious, that's actually really good. So we can use that to keep extending with. So we'll go Special Summon the Mseti, then activate the King Sark. King Sark effect. We can send the I mean it depends what you want to send, probably the Malicious, because you could just use this always for Sharon Send. We want the Malicious in the graveyard. So just get it there as fast as possible. Send the Happy. Special the Happy now. And you can get a Malicious out the deck if you want to first, so we could use Malicious here to get the Malicious out so you have a less of a chance of milling the second and third one. So now we overlay these into our Vampire effect. Detach the Mseti always, because you want the dark attribute in the graveyard to be able to make Mud Dragon if you need to. So always detach Mseti here, never detach Happy. Yeah, so we mill 4 cards, 2, 3, and 4. We could take one of our opponent's guys, but let's say we don't, we just take ours. So we get this. Obviously, these two are good to mill, and the Soliak will trigger, so we use Soliak here. Looking at our hand, it's probably best to search a Rhino Heart, and then the field spell could search Tear Cache. And then I'll show you a cool line with that. But yeah, we search Rhino Heart here. And then since we have double Malicious up, we can actually go straight for Pilgrim Reaper right now. So we can go Pilgrim Reaper right now. Shuffle the deck a bit, because I did just go into it. Cut it. Yeah, that is the annoying thing. Your opponent is going to have to cut your deck a lot. So, yeah. But go Pilgrim Reaper, detach. Mill 5 more. We hit a Rhino, Goods, Race Saw, another Goods, another Soliak. So, we can use Rhino Heart effect here if we want to. But the thing is, nothing good to fuse with. And we want to use that Rhino Heart later for a combo that we're going to do. So I'll actually not use that here, and I'll explain why. Because I want to use it in a later chain. So I'm going to go here, activate the field spell. I'm going to search for that Tear Cache that I said. And then Actually, I'm going to put the Pilgrim Reaper in the EMZ. Because I'm going to link that off anyway. But I want the Zombie Vampire here still. So I'm going to make the Pilgrim Reaper in the EMZ. And leave this here so I have enough board space. So I go Sharon Effect. I'm going to send the Rhino Heart. Summon this. I'm going to mill 3 cards. And a lot of people are not going to know how this works. So I mill 3. Okay, I hit a tier cache. So I'm going to go Rhino Heart, Chainlink 1. Obviously, tier cache, Chainlink 2. If there's no response, then I'm going to go Tearlaments, Kashtira, Chainlink 3. Since I have a target in hand for Rhino Heart, I'm able to use it as Chainlink 1. And since that target in my hand is only Tearlaments, Kashtira, the way it works is if I use Tearlaments, Kashtira as Chainlink 3 to summon itself, since Rhino Heart says it will summon then send the card, I'm able to go summon this, banishing whatever. Let's say I banish the Soliek from my graveyard. Then I go mill 2 cards, hit the Merly and Scream, okay. And then I go summon Rhino Heart, and I don't have to send because I had a target in hand. That's how I was able to trigger Rhino Heart in the first place. But while the chain is resolving, if that target leaves my hand, it doesn't matter. I'll still be able to summon the Rhino Heart because Rhino Heart summons himself first, then sends the card. So if your only target for Rhino Heart is Tearlaments, Kashtira in the hand, you can always chain it and do that play. And you won't have to send the tier cache. You can actually summon it and the Rhino Heart, and then chain block this Rhino Heart as well. But first, we did mill Merly and Scream, so we're gonna trigger. We're gonna see which ones we want to trigger. So obviously, milling Merly here is not ideal. You don't want to do that, but it is unfortunate. But it is fine here still because we're not gonna use the Merly effect actually since we have Rhino Heart's effect here. So. We're going to put the Merly back by making Kaleido Heart with these guys, probably. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Because I already have Exciton access with these 2 right here. So I will go on Resolution of the chain. I will go Chainlink 1 Rhino Heart, Chainlink 2 Tearlaments, Kashtira, Chainlink 3 Tearlaments, Scream. The reason why Scream will be Chainlink 3 here and not like Chainlink 1 or 2 is because I don't want to mill the Soliek before I search it, since I already milled 1 and I banished 1 already. So I only have 1 more in deck. So I actually want to get that out of my deck first. So I search the Soliek. This is my hand. I search the Soliek. Then I'm going to mill 3 cards with tier cache. Cut the deck. Mill 3, 1, 2, 3, hit a shuffle, which is nice. And then I'm going to send to the graveyard with Rhino Heart. I'm going to send the Hobness. And then I'm going to trigger the Hobness to fusion. So I'm going to go Hobness fuse with itself, the Merly, and the Rhino Heart in the graveyard. And I'm going to make a Kaleido Heart here. And this will insulate my board from Nibiru. If they... Obviously, they would have used it probably earlier. Probably like when I made the Pilgrim Reaper, they would have used Nib. But if they didn't and they held it, this will insulate it even more. So my board is full right now. So it's crazy. And I'm still not done. So what we can do here now is a lot of things. So first I'm going to go... Let me think about this, actually. Yeah, this might seem a little strange, but since we filled up our board a little too much, then I have to make an Exciton here, and I have to link these 2 off into a sequence, and then I have to link this off into a Requiem and go effect. But it will still be fine because I'll still be able to shuffle back the sequence with Engraver's effect, so I'll still be able to always summon it again. So I'll go Lacrima effect, I'll go dump the Engraver, and then I go Engraver effect, shuffle back the Exciton, summon it back. Shuffle back, not the Exciton. Do not shuffle this back. You gotta shuffle back the sequence. My bad. Shuffle that back to summon it. I believe Pilgrim Reaper's on its turn. Yeah. So I can't like shuffle it back, make it again. Yeah. So yeah, we want to shuffle that back for sure. Then we link off these two into the sequence. And now we can use the effect. Putting this back, putting this back. And we keep these in the graveyard. Make our Aerial Eater. Then we can go Aerial Eater to dump. And this is where we get the Hell Shit All. And we have a lot of attributes up, so we're gonna mill some cards. We're gonna mill 4 cards here because we have 4 different attributes with the Hell Shit All's effect. So I'm gonna send that. Then we're gonna cut the deck. And we're gonna mill 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. We hit a Trivia Karma, which means that we could search Scream. So we can activate that, search Scream from our deck. So we got a Scream there. Search that, and we can activate it. Yeah, let me just fix the board a little bit. It's my graveyard. This is the board state. Scream here. This is my hand over here. So yeah, this is my deck. All right, so here we can do a couple of things. So we still have a Malicious in the graveyard, I believe. So you can go activate that. Get the last one out the deck. Oh, I lied. We don't have a Malicious. No, it's in the graveyard. Never mind. We do not have one. So what we can do okay, so we can end on SP and Sprint if we want by wasting a shuffler here, which I don't mind doing because we did mill both. So using a shuffler here will guarantee the SP on the board. So I'll put this back. I will put the Sharon back as another good mill because I didn't use that to fuse yet. And I'll put back one of the Rhino Hearts as another good card to mill on my opponent's turn. Or actually, maybe a Tear Cache because I have 2 in the graveyard and 1 on field. So I'll put these back, shuffle them into the deck. And then I will trigger the Malicious that I have in the graveyard to summon the other one. So I'm able to make that SP. So I want to keep this on the boards to have a Sprint interruption too. This is why I wanted to keep this one. And it's like also really good follow-up if it sticks. But yeah, I'm gonna link these 2 off into SP Little Knight. I'm gonna trigger Scream as well to mill 3 cards. I didn't cut the deck. But yeah, I'm gonna trigger Scream to mill 3. 1, 2, 3. Hobness we already triggered, so it's fine. Then I'm gonna link these 2 off into the Sprint. I'm gonna Sprint to dump the Merly, which we never used yet. We used the Hobness to fuse into this only. We didn't use Merly or Sharon to fuse. So we'll dump that Merly now. We'll use the Merly and the Hell Shit All. And we will make a Winda. And then we'll set the Sulliek. And this is your end board. You end on Winda, SP, Sprint Bounce, Sulliek with Kaleido Heart and Field Spell. You have Scream to mill in their turn to potentially fuse again. You have Lacrima and Requiem to get the trap card. You have a Shuffler to be able to enable a pop or just be an interruption on its own. You also have Blackout Last in the graveyard as another interruption. So overall, really good. And you also have all the follow-up in the graveyard with the Engravers in the graveyard, the King Sark on the field, potentially milling more like search effects. So overall very solid. That's just one test hand can do. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this profile. If you want to see more combos, please let me know in the comments, because I know on my last video, everyone was telling me, yo, show us some combos, maybe some test hands. I'm like, yo, I got you. And then, you know, time just fucking hit me in the face, so I didn't have time to do that. But finally I get the time to. So yeah, overall, this is pretty good. Like, this end board is very, very solid. It's like a lot of interruptions, and floodgates too. Like, you end on a floodgate. The card in the graveyard is also floodgate. Like, yeah, pretty good. So that's it for the deck profile. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you want to see more combos, like I said, just let me know. More test hands, let me know in the comments section. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this deck. This deck is very fun to play. Very complicated though, as you can see. You have to actually think about your lines and think about your turn. It's not like the same play every turn. You have to actually think about how to get there. But yeah, it can be very rewarding because, as you can see, I thought about my plays and I ended on a very rewarding board. So yeah, very solid deck. You should definitely try it. And it's your boy APJ signing out. Deuces!